Welcome, everybody. We are here in Warfield, Kentucky. This is JJ Pruitt. I'm Darryl McCoy, and we got Bradley Dameron from the mean streets of Marbone Creek. This segment brought to you courtesy of our friends at Punk's Tires. If you want to get your vehicle road ready, go get your tires from Punk's. They're doing everything they can to support mountain athletes and support you.
Absolutely. Hands down, the best tire man in the business. And once again, if you go down there and you go at a certain time of the morning, you can actually catch the morning startup show while you get your tires worked on.
That's the best thing about it.
Absolutely.
Right now, we're up to. I've had nine different places that has sent pictures of them playing the morning startup show.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really cool.
So pretty neat there. I appreciate all the support. As I don't know that there's any subject we've talked about that I've got as many messages after the show than we did the other day about the Tug Valley football field.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the stuff, listen, a lot of dirty messages come through telling us a lot of stuff going on in Mingo County. So the big day there, guys, and we're going to continue to fight and try to help Tug Valley get that football field, do what we can on our part.
And we need to speak on more local issues as well. I mean, I think that that's something that needs to be, brought to.
Yep.
Like, I guess you could say.
I agree. Yeah. The guys, the other day, the Gary Justice joined the broadcast with you. JJ, how'd you enjoy?
Every single person that I get to broadcast with has taught me so. I mean,
Gary's a legend.
I'm going to school each and every time.
There you go.
I'm meeting somebody new every time I get to broadcast, but it's a legend. So, I mean, it's an honor.
We got to get started. Today is October 2nd, 2024. JJ, what you got for us?
The year was 1959, and this is one of my favorite pieces we've done so far. The science fiction anthology TV series The Twilight Zone debuted and became hugely popular. Known for its unexpected plot twist and moral lessons, the show was created by Rod Serling. So, I mean, I used to love watching this show whenever I was a kid, and that's one thing that I always noticed. It's like the show would start out one way, and then at the end, it would always give you some sort of twist. Even though you knew the twist was coming, it was still entertaining.
I always liked it. It was always just on TV. Like I never was a big Twilight guy, but it was a big part of my childhood. Right. Because it was something that would always come on, at nighttime before bedtime.
Absolutely. I think it was well ahead of its time too.
I do too. What else you got for us?
The year was 1967 when American lawyer and civil rights activist Thurgood Marshall was sworn in as an associate justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, becoming its first African American member.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Thurgood Marshall. So that was 1967.
Yeah.
Well, that was right after the riots. Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely impressive there.
Absolutely. And I've got one last one for you. I'm not really familiar with this individual. You guys might know him more than I do, but the year was 1985 when American actor Rock Hudson passed away, becoming one of the first Hollywood celebrities known to succumb to AIDS-related complications. The extensive publicity surrounding his death drew attention to the disease.
I did not know that Rock Hudson died of AIDS, but I knew he died at an early age. When I was a kid, he was a lot like James Dean. He was a big movie star. And Bradley, you may have been more able to remember that than me because you're a little bit older.
Yeah. I mean, I was 7 years old in 1985, but though I know a little bit about this. Rock Hudson was one of those guys, kind of like, much like Freddie Mercury. People didn't realize that he was gay until pretty much I think it was either right before or right after he passed away. He hid that for years because he was known as like a leading man and heartthrob and stuff in Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, and it is crazy how far we've come past the AIDS epidemic, because like I remember when I was a kid, that was like one of the biggest scares of my life is AIDS. you know, and now, I mean, it's you never hardly hear of people getting it. I mean, I don't know, maybe in you know, I don't know what the official term, but maybe in like the gay world or you know,
LGBT community. I guess.
they might be. It might still be prevalent, but I don't know. But definitely, Rock Hudson was a big loss for America.
Yeah, he was.
And Bradley, as JJ didn't do his job again.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what's going on?
Well, the morning startup show still says Citizens Bank game of the week. So JJ dropping the ball.
I tried to change it yesterday and it didn't work.
Uh-huh.
I tried to change it yesterday, but it wouldn't edit on my end. So you must be the main moderator.
Definitely, we're gonna have to do something about JJ. He's not minding his P's and Q's and keeping us on track, Bradley.
I'm on my P's, but my Q's are off a little bit.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll go with that. All right, guys. Also, this day in history.
What do you have for us today?
1921, New York Yankees outfielder Babe Ruth hits record 59th home run in a 7-6 win over former club Boston Red Sox.
Ooh, I bet that had to feel good.
Yeah, definitely. Then 1938, Bob Feller, baseball Hall of Famer, strikes out record 18 Detroit Tigers on this day in history.
Was that a perfect game?
No, it was not a perfect game.
Like I said, that's a lot of strikeouts, though.
No.
So, I mean,
There are 27 outs in a game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
1964, Philadelphia's Alex Johnson, Bobby Wintoni, Taylor Vic Power combines for Philly's third triple play of the season, tying a Major League Baseball record in 4-3 win versus the Cincinnati Reds.
You know how perfect you have to be to get a triple play? I mean, that's...
Yeah, it's definitely... you see it a little more in today's where they're more athletic, but back then I could imagine triple play was probably a lot harder back then.
Have you ever seen an unassisted triple play?
Yes.
There's only been a few of them throughout history.
I worked a college game, where there was an unassisted triple play.
All right, guys. 1966, Los Angeles Dodger pitcher Sandy Koufax wins 27th game of the season with a win over Philadelphia Phillies.
That was a bad boy. I mean, for him to do what he did over that 10-year stretch, because he retired early,
Yep.
I think due to injuries, and four World Series titles, a perfect game, 2 World Series MVPs.
1970, Detroit general manager Jim Campbell gives controversial Billy Martin a 2-year deal to manage the Tigers at a well above Major League Baseball average annual pay of $65,000. So, wow, that was a big raise.
Oh, yeah. But back then, I mean, you're looking at probably 4 or 5 times that in today's money.
1974, former future Baseball Hall of Famer Hank Aaron hits the final home run as a member of the Atlanta Braves in a 13-0 drubbing of the Cincinnati Reds.
Hammer and Hank.
Yep. There you go. Let's see. In 1977, Dusty Baker hits the 30th home run of the season against the Astros. J.R. Richard Dodgers become the first team in Major League Baseball history to have 4 players hit 30 or more home runs. Joins Steve Garvey.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Let's see.
A lot of baseball history today.
There is. The 1980, 38-year-old Muhammad Ali comes out of a 2-year retirement to challenge undefeated world heavyweight champion Larry Holmes at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Ali is pounded unmercifully for 10 rounds before his corner throws in the towel.
Yeah, I had heard about that fight. I mean, they said it was brutal.
They said Ali was already showing signs of Parkinson's disease.
Yeah.
At that point, why they allowed him to fight in that state is still beyond me.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I guess sometimes you just think a player or athlete's too great, So, 1986, Dwight Doc Gooden becomes the first pitcher to collect 200 strikeouts in each of his first 3 seasons. When he records 7 in an 8-2 win over the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Interesting about that pitcher. They said he used to be pretty wild back in the day.
Oh yeah, he was. His documentary is really neat.
Yeah.
Definitely worth the watch. 1988, future world heavyweight champion Lennox Lewis, representing Canada, wins super heavyweight gold medal at the Seoul Olympics, beats Riddick Bowe by second round TKO.
There's a lot of people out there that think he's the best heavyweight to ever do it. Lennox Lewis?
No.
But did you say Canada, Darryl?
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at his record, I mean,
Lennox Lewis, I thought he was from Britain or Europe, somewhere over there.
Yeah, I thought he was British.
I did too. But it says Canada plain as day on here. It says future heavyweight boxing champion Lennox Lewis, representing Canada, wins super heavyweight. Yeah, I mean, I thought for sure that I thought he was from like England or Britain or somewhere like that, or France or one of them European countries, but I guess not.
Yeah, he was before Alexander Usyk won the undisputed title off of Tyson Fury. He was the last one for 25 years. Like,
yeah,
he won it in 1999.
The 1994 legendary Miami head coach Don Shula beat Cincinnati Reds head coach and his son David in the first ever NFL meeting between the father and son. Dolphins defeat Browns 23-7.
Oh wow!
And let's see, the show Scrubs kicked off today. 2001, Cubs right fielder Sammy Sosa becomes the first player in Major League Baseball history to total 60 home runs in 3 seasons. Chicago Slugger connects off Red starter Lance Davis to reach the milestone in a 5-4 loss. In 2001, NATO supports retaliation for the Twin Towers attack.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I guess JJ didn't think that was quite newsworthy, right, Bradley?
Gotta make sure we get in Rock Hudson passing away there.
Yeah, there you go. Actually, the Rock Hudson is interesting.
It is interesting. I'm just joking mainly.
Yeah. Let's see. The show Homeland started on this day in 2011.
That's actually a really good show.
Yep.
It is a good
2016, Kim Kardashian is robbed at gunpoint of $10 million worth of jewelry in her hotel in Paris.
Oh, wow.
Then let's see if there's anything else here. 2018, the Queen's window with stained glass designed by David Hockey, celebrating the reign of Queen Elizabeth, is concentrated and stolen. Wow. The reason I said that is because it had the Queen, and I thought that was Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of similarities.
That's why I even brought that up. I thought it was going to be a lot more interesting. Trump, 2020, U.S. President Donald Trump announces to Twitter that he and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive for COVID-19.
I'd just like to forget all about 2020.
And that rounds out the this day in history. Real quick, what's the birthdays?
Okay, so we got 3 birthdays today. Kelly Ripa from, I think, Regis and Kelly.
Yeah, Kelly Ripa.
Or Ripa. We got Gandhi.
Gandhi,
Yeah. And then we got Sting.
Sting, all right.
Yeah.
There you go.
solid list.
Yeah, so happy birthday to Sting.
Absolutely.
Now, huh?
Which
Sting?
I believe the singer.
The man
Sting.
called Sting, or
the singer Sting.
You know, the singer Sting pays the wrestler Sting $1 each year to use the name Sting, because apparently the wrestler Sting trademarked it in like entertainment first.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Wow.
It just goes to show you that trademarking's where the money's at. Interesting. The announcer, Michael Buffer.
Yeah.
He trademarked
Yeah.
Let's Get Ready to Rumble back in the 80s, and he's made over $400 million.
Yep. Now let's go over to the Book of Faces. Let's check Facebook birthdays. JJ is going to fall in love with this one, Bradley.
Uh-oh.
If there's one athlete that JJ loves in the mountains, who is it?
Uh-oh.
Who?
Parker Watts.
No.
Is it my boy A. Parker's?
No.
Let's see. Jaden.
Aiden Burke.
Aiden's
Yeah,
birthday.
he does love Aiden Burke.
I have to reach out to him.
Happy birthday, Aiden Burke.
Yeah.
Then Cooper Daniels. So happy birthday, Cooper Daniels. Let's see, Tate Gerald. Happy birthday to Tate. Former Pike Central head coach Ryan Whitaker. Happy birthday, former Russell Red Devil Brady Bell. Was one of the best dunkers that we've ever had in the D&D area in the mountains. So happy birthday to him. Jeff Lovely. He is an official and a lawyer over in the Salyersville area. Happy birthday, Jeff. Dawson Mills. Happy birthday, Martin County's Dawson Mills. And I think that's all.
Solid list.
Yep. And James Dotson from Phelps. So decent list of birthdays today.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, everybody.
Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Huntington Prep head football coach Adam Hill. Come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show.
Of Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
Award-winning tire shop that focuses on customer service that's family-owned and family-operated. Stop by and see our friends Jeremy and Chasta at Punk's Tires. If you have a hectic work schedule and you're looking for a non-stressful, convenient way to buy tires, take advantage of Punk's Tires Appointment Saturdays. If they don't have the tire you're looking for, they guarantee it to have it the next day. Punk's Tires can take care of all your needs in tires, wheels, wheel alignments, brakes, rotors, minor mechanic work, and more. They'll treat you like family from the second you walk through the door. Come see us in Virgie, Kentucky, or give us a call at 606-639-TIRE. That's 606-639-TIRE.
Ready to rev your engines and hit the trails on October 10th through the 13th at the 23rd National Trail Fest in Gilbert, West Virginia. With miles of award-winning trails, sanctioned drag racing, live music, and thrilling poker runs, there's nonstop excitement for everyone. Indulge in mouth-watering food and discover unique finds from our vendors. Located in scenic southern West Virginia, it's the perfect escape from it all.
There was.
And we are back here on the morning startup show, guys. This segment is sponsored by our good friends at City Cuts in Williamson, West Virginia. I need to go see them myself.
I got a fresh cut too.
Yeah, get a beard trim. Listen, can't thank our friends at City Cuts enough for all that they do. So make sure if you're looking for a fresh cut in the Williamson area, go to City Cuts in Williamson, West Virginia. Now, we got Dennis Lafferty says, good morning, guys. Good morning, Dennis. And Carl Whitey Little actually on time today. Good morning, Whitey.
My main man, Carl Whitey.
Yeah, he got on to you the other day, though.
Yes, he did. And I got to be on top of my game today.
Yeah, there you go. So, guys, without further ado, Huntington Prep head football coach, Adam Hill. Good morning,
guys.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right for a Wednesday morning. Be a long day today.
Sorry you've had to listen to us gab a little bit, but it's good to have you finally on, Coach. I've been looking forward to seeing you face to face.
I appreciate it, man. We've done a lot of work in the last 6 months, so we're up and running now, and future is going to be pretty bright.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You know, I mean, Huntington Prep, is widely known for their elite basketball program that they have. And now that they've joined with Expressions Church, so they're Huntington Expressions Prep, big things are happening. I mean, going from, the new facility that they're building there to the football team. I mean, this is the first time I think anybody locals ever put a prep football team out. And tell us a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, before we go into the Huntington Prep stuff, tell people your background and where you're from, where you went to high school. Tell us all about Adam Hill.
So I was born in Ripley, West Virginia. Family moved to Florida in 1981. So when everybody asks me where I'm from, I always tell them I'm a Flowbilly. So I've literally lived half of my life in Florida and half of it in West Virginia. So I can claim either place depending on what conversation I'm in. So
okay.
But came back to Ripley my senior year. Had plans on going to West Virginia University and playing football there. It was always my thing because my mom's side of the family, even part of my dad's side of the family, I hate to say this, but they're huge West Virginia University fans. So I'd always planned on going there and going to college there, and ended up having too big of dreams for that. Ended up playing at Glenville State for a guy named Rich Rodriguez.
Yep.
Played for Rich for 3 years and then transferred to Marshall. So finished up my career at Marshall. We can talk all about the transfer portal now as compared to back then. I can give you firsthand knowledge of how it hurt athletes and back in our day. But after college, man, I planned on being a police officer. Always wanted to go to the State Police Academy and everything. And a guy named Brent Terry got me coaching 1 year. He said, give us one fall at Spring Valley, and he's like, then you can go to the academy. Well, I've been coaching ever since, and that was 2001.
Wow.
So I started off there at Spring Valley. I coached a couple of years of high school ball, and then had an opportunity to go and take over as offensive GA at Marshall in 2004, 2005. Coach Pruitt retired, and I ended up not getting to complete that spring, and met a guy named Dane Dameron over in Boyd County through another guy named Gary McPeak. And Dane and I and a couple other guys, Zach Moore, launched the football program at KCU. So I've had a lot of experience launching football programs. I'm the patron saint of starting football programs, Darryl.
Well, I did not realize that you was one of the ones that started the KCU football program, which currently they recruit a ton of our mountain athletes around here. Absolutely. And great program up there. But two men that you mentioned there that I wanted to kick back on. The McPeak brothers. They've not done too bad for themselves growing up with the Frederick Douglass program, and I know they had some good years there in Fairview too, and so definitely some well-noted football names there. And then my other question: do you know how long Rich Rod coached at Glenville State?
He was there from 1991 through 98, I believe. I think he was there for 7 years.
Okay.
I know 98 was his last year there.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. There's a video out on YouTube about his years at Glenville State and the records and stuff that were set up there. They had an unbelievable run. He and Dean Hood, who actually is involved with Kentucky's program, was the head coach at Murray State. Dean was the defensive coordinator there for Rich whenever I was recruited there. So they
okay.
Unreal staff.
I did not know Dean Hood was a part of Rich Rod's staff. So Dean Hood spent a lot of time at UK. So whenever the reason I ask that is I know that we had a lot of Williamson players that went up there to Glenville State around the time. We had guy Eric Rash played up there.
Doug Jackson.
Yeah, Doug Jackson.
Yep.
Yeah. So
My
so
sons have even got to meet Doug Jackson's. They just did our I was on the 93 team that went to the national championship, and we had our, what was it? Be our 30, was it 35? Whatever that reunion was. We just had it last November. So the whole team went back up there, got to see all those guys. It was a good deal. We've actually got 2 former guys from that staff and that team that are coaching at Glenville now, Mike Keller and Bubba Hill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys, I'm sorry before we go any further here. I feel a little left out. I'm going to put my specs on too. You and Bradley got glasses on here. So, Coach, you got, I guess, brought back to the area. Last year you took the job, started the program again at Huntington and St. Joe, and then got that one off the ground. And then this summer, went over to Huntington Expressions Prep, and I know Pastor Kevin and them great people there. Tell us a little bit about how the ground building stages have been there, and what exactly y'all are doing right now, because y'all started on middle school level, right?
We did. Started middle school. Just thought it would be the easiest after going through what I went through at St. Joe last year with scheduling and trying to get the varsity program off the ground and get games scheduled in the spring. Just realized how hard it was to break into the varsity scheduling when people aren't really sure if you're going to have a program or have enough to have a team or whatever. So bad as I hate to say it, Hannon kind of goes through that every year over this way. So thought it would be easier to schedule middle school games, get some middle school kids here local and launch it. The biggest problem we've had is we probably haven't brought 2 kids into the school or into the program that didn't want to be a part of what we're building. But we've had probably 6 kids from Bluefield come. We've had kids from Virginia come and visit. So we've had them from everywhere, all the way up, through the Kanawha Valley and everywhere else. Getting a middle school kid to move and leave his family, move into a host home and stuff like that, it's been hard. And we've lost a few kids for it, but we just thought that starting a middle school program would be a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. We could get that one up and running and have it going and having a feeder system into our high school program. So that was the decision-making process on that. And then the kids have done great. We've got a team. We've been up as high as 25 kids, and I think we're at 17 now. We compete with a basketball program that's pretty good for some of our kids. So we've got kids that are there to play basketball, and I've told Arkell and Coach Frazier that I'm not going to ask a kid that's a basketball focused kid to play football, because I know why they're there, and in the future our kids are going to be there for football. So we're just kind of build it slow, and not slow. We've built it fast, but we're just kind of taking our time with it and just trying to launch it the right way and sell the vision that we have. So.
Yeah. Now, that's the other thing, with the middle school program, obviously, at a prep school, you want to draw kids from away from there as well. But, how, and I know you got to kind of keep walk that fine line where you don't want to really upset any of the area local coaches, but how important is it for you to get the best of the best out of the city of Huntington?
That's actually what you're talking about, a fine line. It's trying to portray what we're selling. The kind of kid that we want is not necessarily the best athlete or the best player. The kind of kids that we want are kids that are focused on going to college. We want guys that are football guys. So, football is pretty important in my life, and part of the thing that I learned coaching in the pros and coaching pro football was that it's not always about winning the next game. Sometimes it's about developing yourself or developing the player to move him on or move him back to the next level. I coached arena football. I've coached in the XFL, And those guys aren't worried about winning an arena championship. Yes, we want to win every game that we play, and we want to win a championship. But the real goal for those guys was to get back to the NFL. So, it was more, and coaches as well. We all want to go to the NFL. We all wanted to go back or whatever. So our focus at X-Prep is not going to be championships. It's going to be about getting these kids scholarships. So, I mean, it's as soon as we build the football facilities, it's going up in every room. We're not focused on championships. So we have kids that, and I've told a couple of the local coaches that I've talked with. I've talked with David down at Tulsa. I've talked with, oh my gosh, Coach Ashworth up at Cabell Midland. Yeah. We're not trying to steal your players. That's not the focus. If a kid wants to come to us that wants to be individually developed and have focus poured directly into them individually with one goal of trying to get him to college, get him to a 4-year school, get him money for college, and then move him on, and he's dead serious about it, just like our basketball program, that's the kids that we're looking for. So I think that we will play a role for these local high school coaches that if I talked to Luke before he went to Corbin, he had talked about sending his son down there. I think I can say that now. He's way away, but yeah, he talked about sending his son down there in the 7th grade and reclassing. And I said, you think we're not going to try to steal your own son from you? Send him down for 2 years. We'll coach him up and send him back to you. So it's an open door for us. We just want good players that we can teach a high level of football to, and send them back or send them to college a better player and a better man. That's our goal. So I think that we can help local high schools. I think that we can help middle schools. And as long as we're in it for the kids, if we as coaches truly think that we're in it for the kids, there's only 2 reasons that you coach high school football. I've said this 100 times. You're either in it for the kids or you're in it for the game. So if we're truly in it for the kids, then if it's best for a kid to come to us, then why fight the kid?
Yeah. No, well, you're definitely not in it for the money, right?
not in high school.
No. And Coach, but when you sit there, that's an interesting take. And I think that might would allow area high school coaches to work with y'all a lot more, helping you build the program if they know that they're going to get them players back. Now how long do you foresee the middle school program being the show there? Y'all obviously, I would think, have plans of going up to the high school later, right?
Yeah, we're going to launch. The focus is going to very quickly turn to post-grad for me. So we're going to launch post-grad and high school next fall. But we're working on something right now, and I just talked to a couple coaches yesterday, a couple local high school coaches. We're going to start getting out and visiting these places, and we're going to launch the first of its kind. We're going to do a post-grad pre-enrollment program starting in January of 25. So we're going to be out this fall recruiting high school seniors that might not have something going on college-wise yet, or they don't have an offer that they're looking for. So we're going to try to get kids in. We've got a 55-man roster that we're going to try to put together for this spring, have a 3-week spring ball period and a black and gold spring game, and try to get those kids placed before June. And if we can, then that's great. We get them a scholarship. They move on. They play college football. If not, then they can come back in the fall and play our fall. We're going to play an 8 to 10 game post-grad schedule this fall. So nobody's ever done it. Nobody's ever tried it. Those kids will stay at their high school. So if a kid was at Huntington High, he could stay at Huntington High, complete his semester there, graduate. But at the same time, he's playing post-grad spring ball for us at X-Prep. It's be the equivalent of a high school all-star game, basically.
Well, let me tell you a kid that I would definitely reach out to, and his mom's commented on here, is Parker Watts, former Tulsa Rebel and Martin County Cardinal now. He's an elite basketball player as well, but he's a Division I. If he focused on football, he could go Division I level wideout.
I watched him play a couple times last year.
Yeah, he's special, man. Very special.
He is.
The Doug Jackson says, Adam Hill, there's not a better man to spearhead this drive. Said, good luck, my brother.
Love you, Doug.
Yeah. So, and it's come time where we always let JJ before Bradley gets to our guest. JJ, you got any questions?
Coach, it's a pleasure to meet you. I've got one question for you. You've put together a lot of teams, for a lot of schools. What would you consider your most proud moment as a coach?
Oh, wow.
Or your biggest accomplishment, like, so far?
Honestly, the biggest accomplishment coaching wise, I just told a kid last Thursday night and honestly, I've gotten to a point in my career that I'm starting to wise up. The older you get, the glasses you put on, you start getting gray in your beard.
Mm-hmm.
You start realizing there are special moments. And outside of my own sons playing and their development and everything else, I take pride in coaching a kid to do something specific, especially if it's a high level skill or something like that. And you've got a lot of guys that will tell you that you can't teach middle school kids or high school kids pro and college level stuff. And I think it depends on the teacher. So when you coach a kid, and I had a kid that was a basketball player, never played football before. I've been dealing with a lot of that in the last 2 years. Yeah. So we had 13 kids at St. Joe last year that never played football before that suited up for us. But we had a kid last Thursday night that he was playing outside linebacker for us, Jaden Napper. And we played Raceland the week before, and Raceland ran lead zone on us the whole night or the whole day. And we kept telling him, you got to come up outside, fill that thing, keep your outside arm free, attack the fullback, don't wait for him to approach the line of scrimmage, all that kind of stuff. And Thursday night last week against Valley Fayette, Jaden comes flying off the edge and drills the fullback in the backfield. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that sticks out to me, is just like, that kid actually got it. He's done it now. And I told him, I went all the way out to the numbers on the field, and I grabbed him. I said, now you know how to do it. You've done it once. Now I expect it out of you every time. So stuff like that, we built a lot of programs, and personally for me, getting on the staff had my first full-time pro football offer with the Tampa Bay Vipers. That kind of stuff for me, personal coaching stuff, that would be up there. But it's the individual stuff. And that's why I think that the X-Prep fit for me is better than what the St. Joe fit was for me, to be honest with you. That's why I made the move. I see a long-term deal here, whereas I probably would have left coaching the high school ranks as soon as my youngest son, who's in the 8th grade now, when he leaves, I would have probably tried to go back and coach college football or coach back in the pros. I would have ended up leaving, but I think that I'll be at X-Prep for as long as I can stand it. For as long as they can stand me, not that I can stand it.
Well, I'm excited for the next step there at Expressions Prep, because I've seen the blueprints for the facility. I've been up there numerous times, with Pastor Kev and Arkell. They got some special things going on there right now. Huge. And so
they were signing permits all last week, so the dirt should start moving sometime within the next 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
They've actually sold the naming rights for it, so everything is done. That there were so many hoops that they had to jump through that which has delayed it for a year and a half. Anytime that you get involved with state, local, and federal government stuff with grants and everything else, there's so many hoops that you have to jump through. Well, they jumped through the last hoop, and they sold the naming rights to the stadium. It's going to be the Chatterton Black X Dome. So we should see dirt moving in the next couple months. We've got 2 ESPN home games for basketball this winter, so they better get it up in a hurry. Yeah. And best part about it is, for us, is that we've already started focus on the football facilities, and what we're going to attempt to do there is going to be unmatched in the area. A football facilities building big enough to hold 4 55+ lockers. team meeting rooms, strength and conditioning facilities, stuff like that. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to be able to attract some pretty good national talent, international talent, and give these local kids a chance to. My coaching philosophy as a head coach and as a program builder goes all the way back. Dane Dameron, when I was the offensive coordinator at KCU, he made every coach on that staff read Frosty Westerling's book called "Make a Big Time Where You Are" or "Make the Big Time Where You Are." So my philosophy has always been, if I'm taking a program, and Todd used to get mad at me at St. Joe all the time and say, if they got it at Alabama, we're going to have it at St. Joe. Well, if they have it at Alabama, we're going to have it at X-Prep.
Yeah.
Because there's no guarantees in this life, and why should you have to wait until you make it to the pros to get a pro experience? So we're going to give it to these kids from the time they're 12, 13 years old. We're going to treat them like college and professional athletes and give them everything we have, and then hopefully help them achieve their dreams, not vice versa. My dream is to do that here, not to win a championship. So let's give these kids the best experience they can and move them on.
We got a question from one of our viewers on here. Says, Coach, do you like for your linebackers to play a little bit outside to control the outside zone running if they are known for outside running?
We always tell our guys, it's all about leveraging the football. And when you're looking at game film, if that fullback's offset that way, and he's coming your way, then we just want to make sure that we're always leveraging the ball. If we're an outside guy, we're going to force it back to the inside, take on the block with our inside shoulder, keep our outside hand free. And the biggest thing is them old wing T coaches, they try to trick you into not penetrating. And I'm an offensive coordinator, and I played defense my whole life. And I'm telling you right now, penetration kills everything. So we tell our guys, we're not going to sit there and wait on the line of scrimmage for you. We're going to go attack that guy deep as we can, take it on with our inside shoulder, and force it back to our inside guys. So, if that answers your question, that outside zone running game, if it's truly outside zone, that guy's aiming point is going to be your outside number, and he's going to try to get you reach. So whatever we got to do to keep that outside shoulder, but set the edge as soon as we can.
All right. Bradley, I'll go ahead and turn him over to you.
All right, Coach. When we talked a little while back, you were talking about building a staff there at Huntington Express and Prep. Just talk to me a little bit about your philosophy with the staff and all that.
So the guys that I'm looking for to build our staff, perfect example. We went out in the spring and we were recruiting coaches as much as we were recruiting players. And I went up and watched the spring, I think it was the spring league state championship or something like that up in Charleston. And the team that won that tournament was out of Bluefield. They're a West Virginia team. They're called the Two Live Crew. We can't have that team name at Expression, but the guy that coached that's name's Jordan Masterson. And I just watched the way that he ran his team, the way that they ran their pregame warm-ups and everything else. And I thought, a guy like that has ties all over the state with recruiting guys for a travel team and everything else, what better guy to lead our middle school program? So we hired Coach Masterson. They ended up winning the Division I national or 13U national championship in Canton, Ohio over the summer. So Coach Masterson's got a long, he's only 27 years old, but he's been coaching travel ball for years. He's coached down in the Bluefield area, played at Concord. So we're going to let him head up our middle school program. He's doing a great job, and we want guys like that to build down. And he is easily a high school level coach, So the goal in building our staff, Bradley, to answer that question is, I want college level guys that are, fresh out of college GAs or Division II coaches coaching the high school program. I want college guys coaching high school kids. I want, obviously college guys coaching post grad. We want good coaches. We want upper level guys coaching and pouring into these kids everything that they've learned where they've been, and they've got to be grinders. You know, the amount of, and I'll go ahead and throw it out there, the kind of money that we're going to be able to pay these guys, our coaching staff is going to be structured a lot like a small college. So a Division II, you know, level pay structure where you're paying full-time coordinators enough money to make a living. We know that they'll end up moving on and going coach other places, other colleges. But that's great. I want guys that want to grind. So if there's guys out there that are interested in coaching at a high level and moving on, send them to us. I want football guys that love it. They want to be there every day, and they understand that it's not a work your 8-hour job and come coach for 2 hours and then cut it off, because that's not helping these kids the way that they need help.
And speaking of which, you know, I know your goal, as you told me and you said earlier, you want to get kids onto the next level. What is like your offensive and defensive overall, like the overarching philosophies? Because I know each program's a little different.
Right.
Tell me a little bit about what yours is specifically.
We're defensively, I believe in the 3-4. And as soon as I say that, everybody looks at, well, you only got 3 down linemen, and we're a pro 3-4. We're a pro multiple offense. The reason I like the 3-4 is because I've coached small college football before, and those defensive linemen and offensive linemen are hard to find. Tight ends are hard to find. So trying to find 8 defensive linemen as opposed to 6 is harder. So taking that philosophy and putting it into a high school program or a prep program where you know, we can be multiple. If we've got big, you know, outside linebackers, one guy's a rush guy, one guy's a drop guy, 2 middle linebackers, we can make it look like a 4-man front. It's just easier to get in and out of those fronts on defense out of a 3-4 than I think it is an even front. So that's the philosophy behind the defense. Offensively, we do it all. We cater to our personnel. So if I've got gap scheme linemen, then the gap scheme is there. Our playbook's 260 pages long, so we obviously don't run all that from middle school. But it's expansive enough to allow us to cater to who we have without changing our terminology. It's all there. So when they come in as a 6th grader, we get them for 7 years. By the time they leave us, they're going to know that playbook inside and out. And the packages that we run from year to year might change, but it's still the same verbiage. And every program that we have from middle school all the way up through the national team is all going to run on the same terminology. That is a great thing to have and to have control over in a situation like this, because our guys are going to be plug and play guys. And then that's what we tell our kids when we had our recruiting visits over the spring. We told the parents that in 4 years, when we start graduating players and sending them on to college, if Kirby Smart comes through Huntington and he sees X Prep behind one of those kids' names, you know, 6'4", 285-pound defensive end, and behind his name it says X Prep, Kirby Smart's going to know that kid's plug and play. He's ready to go right now. It's like the difference between recruiting Florida and Texas. Yeah. Our kids are going to be ready to play Division I college football as soon as they leave us, and that they're going to be used to working in that environment.
Now go ahead, Bradley.
No, I was just going to say, you know, like, you know, you kind of touched on earlier, like, what's going to be that ramp up process just to start recruiting the high school level kids? Because I know right now the middle school stuff, you're going strong with that. What's that ramp up process looking like?
It's just going to be contacts. To be honest with you, it's going to be a lot of word of mouth stuff. So, you know, we want to leave it out there. I don't want to hurt these local programs. I don't. I've already got, you know, I've got a lot of coaching connections in Tampa, so we get calls from Tampa all the time. We're going to take the same approach as our basketball program does. You know, we're out looking for players. If a guy wants to come to us, then we want him to come to us. We're not out on the sidelines at the high school games going and grabbing parents and, hey, who's number 57's parents. You know, a lot of the stuff's going to be done with like these interviews, just like this. the fact is, and we've discussed this, through text messages and stuff like that. If there's one complaint that I think that I have, being involved here, is like our basketball program. You walk in that little school, there's 87 kids in that school, and we have 3 7-footers.
Yeah.
And Peterson just left and went down south. He got a great money offer. But that's what it's about. And now we've got Cam Mercer's the number 1 freshman in the country. We've got him at X-Prep. I think that we need help getting the word out that, yes, we've got a football program. We are interested in your kid. If football is very important to you, we want that kid. And that I think, to me as a parent, I'm a parent of a football player right now. My kid's in the 8th grade. My other son, Wes, he just left. He's doing his college thing. He graduated 2 years ago. If there was a program like this that would pour into my kid, and that we're more concerned about where your kid goes, as soon as your kid enters our program, our goals or his goals become our goals, not vice versa. We're not looking to build a super team to win a state championship. That's not what we're doing. We want the best guys so we can pour into them over 4 years and then help them accomplish their dreams, because we know that they give back, and that I think is the biggest difference between where Huntington Prep has been in basketball and everything else as to where they're at now. Pastor Kevin, this church, this community, they're pouring into these kids, and they love it. So I think that the future is going to be unbelievable in Westmoreland.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great thing. It's going to be a great thing for everybody involved.
Well, you couldn't ask for better people to work with and work for up there. Pastor Kev, spoke to him many times, and he's got a vision, and I'm very, I guess, surprised to see how quickly his vision is coming, to front. And
he's not a patient guy.
No. If he wants something, he's going to go out and make it happen.
Absolutely.
So
I love him. He and Stephanie Scragg, the principal down there. I told Stephanie, she's the one that sold me the first meeting that we had. She said the words, "We are unapologetically athletic," and that right there sold me. Everywhere I've ever been, you get, as a coach, and every coach listening to this will know that you get cornered and everybody tells you, hey, they're student athletes. They're students first, they're athletes second. Yeah. We don't have to be told that. We already know that. They have to have an education. But the problem is sometimes kids are given everything that they have, and a 2.5 GPA might be all that kid has. But he's a 5-star recruit in a sport. He shouldn't have to apologize for that. God's given him a gift, and he needs to pursue that gift and be a student. There's nothing wrong with that. So when I heard that we are unapologetically athletic coming from the principal, I'm sold. Sign me up.
Well, they, and that's the thing that I like. I mean, they've all, there's no, idle in Huntington Prep. Anybody there, even Arkell, everything's pedal to the metal and full speed ahead. And the thing that I like too is I know the football program, I've not got to talk to you, but I'm sure you're doing the same thing. But like Arkell, he went up, done the community stuff up in Ashland, put on the free camps and takes his players around, lets them meet other kids, So, I just, everything about Huntington Expressions Prep right now, should get a stamp of approval. And, I guess one of my final questions for you is what's the next step for your middle school team? I mean, do y'all got any games coming up, or?
We play Chapmanville next Thursday. We play Madison the following week. And then we've got it set up to where the winners of those 2 games between us and those two playing each other, they play each other tomorrow. And then we play the next 2 weeks. On October 31st, we're going to play a conference championship game. So we have that to look forward to, that to play for. So that's our next 2 weeks. And then we've got the opportunity to play a bowl game. We're kind of still looking for an opponent. If we get one, we'll play one. If not, then we'll wrap the season up and go ahead and start off season training in the dome. We're really excited about that. The kids are really looking forward to it. But then it's full speed ahead for next year, and it's 12 months a year football, 12 months a year basketball at X-Prep, and we've got a baseball program going to start up. We've got soccer and volleyball and competitive cheer, and the vision that Kevin and Stephanie have is full speed ahead, and they're going to get, and that's the other thing. That's one thing that I do want to say before we leave is we are going to have a national football team just like the national basketball team, but there's kids right now at Expression Prep that are getting a great Christian education, a private school education, and the education portion of it is focused on them as well. There's 15 kids a class, so the teachers know those kids, every one of them by first name. They're, it's a great relationship between the teachers and the students. And the kids that come into the program, whether they're football or basketball, they feel the pull from those other athletes. I mean, they're elite level athletes. They're in class right there with them. My son is in the 8th grade, and he takes classes with freshmen. So you have, you got Cam Mercer down there. You've got Rashid, the guys that have 13 Division I offers right now. And my son's sitting next to him, so he feels that pull to be excellent with them. It's just a great environment. And did I mention to any parents or any kids that are listening, they shouldn't be listening unless they're homesick. We only go to school 4 days a week. You get Fridays off. So we get in, we do our work, and we get done. And then Friday they have open tutoring for anybody that needs help. So it's a great place to be. Being on the ground floor is an awesome thing. And it's just going to be, I think, like I said, a great thing for this whole area.
Well, we're definitely, I'm glad to get finally, get to sit down and talk to you and see the steps and see what's going on there because, I'm sure, a lot of people watching and, we can continue to try to push, what y'all's goals are to, try to help y'all along the way because there's a lot of kids around here would probably love that opportunity and, not just around here. I mean, we're, a region wide. We got Ohio, Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, got all of them. So, I just know, whenever I can't wait to see once y'all get your facilities built and, all that, I really think that Huntington Expressions Prep, they're the next step in things. And whenever you talk about, programs that, it looks like they're trying to, kind of do like an IMG,
mm-hmm.
You hear you talk about all the other sports. Well, whenever you see IMG next to a kid's name, that kid's, ready to play. Like you said, plug and play. And so I'm very excited. I think they got the right man for the job, Coach. And
I appreciate that.
Anything, hopefully you could come on, you could start coming on, every now and then and,
I'll come on once a week if you want. I'm open. So I love getting on here talking ball.
Well, I'd love to. And, we'll definitely, have Bradley, there or reach out and we'll definitely reschedule it and because we need to make sure that we keep Expressions Prep in the forefront and until we can take and get help y'all get this thing off the ground.
I appreciate it. Anybody that's looking for more information on it, we have our own football website. It's xprepfootball.com, xprep football.com. To keep up with us and the contact information and stuff like that's on there. We'll definitely give kids an option. There's 2 tracks. Once we start our national program, the kids that are there, strictly for football that want to go on the national track, if they're national prep caliber player, then they'll move on and their junior and senior year, they'll play prep football. And if they want to have a regular high school experience and play football and baseball and basketball and play all three sports, we have our high school programs. So we're not taking a kid from the 8th grade and saying he can never play basketball or he can't play baseball. They're just going to play it at a high level, be coached by great guys. And if they're on those national teams, then that's their focus, and that's what they're there for. But if not, they're going to have a regular high school experience and a really good one.
I highly suggest everybody visit that website, and you got any questions, reach out to Coach Hill or Pastor Kev, Arkell, Steph. They can all answer your questions. And
absolutely,
Coach, kept you a little longer than what we thought we would, but it's definitely, we like to talk to you when we can get the time to catch up with you. And, we would talk to you even longer, but I got to make sure I, take these guys down in our weekly pick'em games. So
good luck, guys. Hey, I appreciate it. Darryl, JJ, Bradley. Like I said, anytime, man, just get in touch with me. I love coming talking ball. We don't even have to talk about X-Prep. We can talk about anything you want to.
We absolutely will, Coach. You have a blessed day, and we look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys, that's going to take us to our next commercial break. We'll be right back, guys, as we got a lot to talk about. Come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show.
Bruce Walters Kia. By now, you know Kia is a great vehicle, and you know they come with a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. So why should you buy from Bruce Walters Kia? At Bruce Walters Kia, we're going to change your oil for free for life. And what you do with that money you save is up to you. Come check out the 2022 Kia Carnival and the 2021 Kia Sorento. Only at Bruce Walters Kia in Pikeville. Or shop us online at brucewalterskia.com.
Are now available at Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Little Flower Dental Clinic. Same day crowns. No more temporary impressions and wearing temporary crowns. Same day crowns. Now available at Little Flower Dental Clinic. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canals, and bridges. Call for an appointment today at 487-9505. We accept most major insurances, Medicare and Medicaid, and even a sliding fee scale. Little Flower Clinic, your medical home in the mountains.
In America, what does that mean? It means jobs. It means craftsmanship. And when it comes to Vaughan Bassett furniture, it means value. And Kemper recognizes that. That's why they've dedicated an entire gallery to Vaughan Bassett. Made in America. See the quality. And now, see the price. Come see your favorite Kemper store in Hazard, London, or Somerset.
All right, guys, we are back here on the Startup Morning Show as we got JJ Pruitt, Bradley Dameron, and Darryl McCoy. Guys, this segment brought to you courtesy of Team Moore. Make sure if you're looking for a vehicle and you live in the Williamson area, you go to Moore's Chrysler Dodge Jeep down in West End. Hit them up. They'll make sure not just great prices, but they got great service too. So it's Team Moore.
They also look out for the community as well.
They do. They're big community supporters, JJ.
Absolutely.
So guys, as we sit here, great interview with Coach Hill, guys. Coach Hill, I mean, you could tell that man is all about football, and I have no doubt that whatever he wants to happen, he's going to make happen.
Yeah, Coach Hill's always been an impressive guy to talk with, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens at Huntington Expression Prep. It's going to be a great thing for the area. Now it's about time for the pick'em, and Jeremy Penson's here for it, so let's let the trash talking begin, guys.
Well, we got Carl Whitey Little says, great interview with Coach Hill. Said, wish you guys the best. At Huntington Expressions Prep, and Jacob Ruford tuning in. So
it's about time. We haven't seen Jacob in a couple of days.
No, it's been a while. So guys, as we got, before we get into pick 'em, we got topics, some topics to discuss.
At least one or two good ones.
Yeah, and whenever one thing that definitely want to give a shout out before we go any further, would be remiss if we didn't. Guys, right now I want to give a huge shout out to some of our local firefighters here in the Kermit area. They loaded up today. At Austin Smith at Tug Valley helped, I guess, spearhead a rally to kind of get some local goods from people to donate to go down to North Carolina and Tennessee. And the firefighters, they got a deep water rescue team, and they're going to go down there. I know Billy Davis, Zach, Peyton Davis, Martin County. Listen, that just tells you how great Peyton Davis is. This is the second flood that he's worked. Tell me you wouldn't want a kid like that on your basketball team in college. This is the second flood that he's worked where he's went and, had to try to recover, whether it's dead or alive, he's had to help recover and be around that. And, it's just something special whenever you see a local fire department like that go down there and help these people. So there they are as they was leaving out this morning. So hats off, and I hope they stay safe, guys.
Absolutely. And that's like whenever we interviewed Peyton that one day, all he mentioned was wanting to help people.
Yeah.
Tremendous kid.
He's that kind of kid. And Bradley, you're from that area. It's got to make you kind of proud.
It does make me proud. I know they've always done a great job reaching out at times like this in Kermit. Listen, man, you hear about these kids like Peyton and Austin Smith and all that, and what they're doing. And those kids, forget athletics. They're leaders in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're the type of kids who is going to push forward and be great community members when they're done, all and done. So it just does make you proud when you see local kids. And honestly, I'm sure that there are other areas and other fire departments and stuff that are helping, and just everyone be safe. I know I saw earlier, can't remember who it was. Was it Billy earlier? Someone was that they're watching the cab on the way to North Carolina. They're watching it go. So you guys stay safe down there. I know the conditions are still really treacherous, and just keep we're really proud of you and what you're doing.
That's it. The guys, and you never know, they might run into those Sleepy Joe down there. There's Joe Biden, trying to save some animals in the flood, guys. And guys, listen, that's nonsense. You can tell that picture is definitely AI'd out. That just tells you, Bradley, what the Democrats are putting out. They're using AI to their advantage. Now, let's go look at the hard work that Donald Trump's doing. He's out there, trying to get our phones back, going that way. We can make sure that we got, a way to call emergency services. That's a true president right there, and that's the kind of man I want running my country, Bradley, not one that uses AI to put fake pictures out.
Communication is everything, and that man right there is
my gosh,
communication.
That's it, JJ.
Someone should have put him in like some type of like lineman gear or something for that picture.
No, he had a rally to go to after that.
He didn't have time to change.
Yeah.
Gosh, AI is going to ruin the world, man.
Guys, all right, here we go. Let's go to as we do our blind draw here, and this starts out a guy that I did not know was even still in the NFL. Von Miller suspended 4 games for violating personal conduct policy.
I'm like you. I was surprised that he was still in the league as well. He had some really peaked years, whenever he played for the Denver Broncos. Obviously he was a Super Bowl MVP, but I didn't know about this. So, Buffalo Bills pass rusher Von Miller was suspended 4 games on Tuesday for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy, the league announced. Miller will now miss the Bills' next 4 games and will be eligible for reinstatement on October the 28th. Though it wasn't specifically announced, the suspension likely stems from Miller's felony domestic violence incident last fall. Miller turned himself in to police in Texas last November on suspicion of assaulting a pregnant woman, which is a 3rd-degree felony. He was accused of assaulting his longtime girlfriend and mother of his children at their shared home in Dallas. Among other things, Miller allegedly choked his girlfriend twice during an argument, ripped out a patch of her hair, and stomped her on her. This is wow. This is unbelievable.
You got to speak a little louder.
And stomped on her laptop.
There we go.
Yeah. I mean, I stopped because I'm like, this is hard to read.
You read the other stuff.
It's not really. You went to Belfry, right?
It's not hard
to
read.
miss golf.
Well, what I mean is it's disturbing trying to read it in real time because like these allegations are very,
Definitely, I was surprised there with Von Miller as well. My biggest thing is that he was still even playing. Jacob Rufus says the Bills paid him a lot of money to come there.
Oh yeah, and it says like if you scroll down, it says he's on the 3rd year of a 6-year, $120 million deal with the Bills.
Golly, a lot of money.
Yeah.
The only reason I knew Von Miller was still playing is because I was recently watching the Bills, and he made a tackle, and they called his name, and my first reaction was, "Holy cow, Von Miller!"
Yeah,
did.
Well, guys, here we go. Nintendo Switch emulator. Nintendo Switch shuts down. So if you have a Nintendo Switch, you will not be able to buy new games or, if you're wanting in it for nostalgia, I'd probably try to buy them things up.
Well, it says an emulator. So it's not the actual Switches, right?
No, it's Nintendo Switch. They're calling it emulators. Because the way that Switch is, if you go into the article and read it, Nintendo Switch is, it's something that I guess, with phones and all that, they was talking, it just kind of, they don't see much growth in it in the future.
The last Nintendo I had was Nintendo 64.
I had a Nintendo, what is it, NES?
Yeah, I still have one of those. I just mean the last one I actually received was like 1996.
Here we go, JJ. We got Shiloh Sanders. Guys, interesting suit. Shiloh Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, when he was in high school, he roundhouse punched a security guard when the security guard tried to take his cell phone and ended up owing the security guard $11 million. Tell us a little bit about this, JJ.
So a federal judge has issued another ruling in the bankruptcy case of Colorado football player Shiloh Sanders, once again denying Sanders' attempt to fully dismiss a complaint from the former school security guard, who Sanders still owes $11 million. This is the second time since June that the judge has ruled on a request by Sanders to dismiss one of the complaints filed by former security guard John Darjean. The first time Judge Michael Romero dismissed some parts of Darjean's complaint, but allowed Darjean to amend those parts and try again. He did, leading Sanders' attorneys to ask the court to dismiss Darjean's amended complaint as well. But the judge didn't grant Sanders' full request in his new ruling on Monday. As a result, much of Darjean's complaint in this case can proceed to trial as he tries to prevent Sanders from getting off the hook of his $11 million debt to him. What in the world could this guy have possibly done?
I just told you what he done.
No, I mean, like, I'm just thinking, like, $11 million is a lot of money for something like that. I mean, but it's what else does this ruling say and why is this happening? Well, the judge officially granted in part and denied in part Sanders' motion to dismiss the renewed complaint by Darjeena, but the judge only fully threw out one of Darjeena's 5 remaining claims. A request by Darjean to recover attorney's fees from Sanders. The judge also dismissed part of one of Darjean's claims, which has alleged Sanders had fraudulently transferred his NIL rights and NIL compensation. The judge said 3 wasn't sufficient detail to sustain that part of the claim, but otherwise allowed Darjean's claims to proceed. Let's see. Shiloh Sanders filed for bankruptcy after Darjean attempted to collect on Sanders' $11 million debt to him from stemming an incident in 2015 when Shiloh was in the 9th grade. Darjeeling alleged that Shallow gave him permanent injuries after Sanders swung a roundhouse elbow into his upper chest when Darjeeling was trying to confiscate his phone at school. Darjeeling then sued Sanders for damages, but the case didn't go to trial until 2022. Sanders didn't show up to defend himself at trial, but the court still heard evidence in this case and entered an $11 million default judgment against Sanders.
Guys, listen, is a roundhouse elbow worth $11 million?
I mean, I would love to know the permanent damage. I mean, like,
you know, that's my question.
I mean, it depends on the damage from it.
Well, let me ask you this. Well, yeah, I guess, you know, that's true. But, you know, if you just took his loss of wages, do you think he'd make $11 million as a school security guard the rest of his life?
for the rest of his life, I would say maybe
No.
No, not even close.
I would say $300,000, maybe $350,000.
Probably.
At $30,000 a year for the next 10 years.
Probably. And so that guy hit the lottery. You know, so, you know, interesting to see Shiloh Sanders still trying to get out of that,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, I think, you know, maybe settle out of the court something, you know, for, you know, I'm sure a couple $1 million would probably, you know, suffice the security guard.
It's interesting because this happened when he was a freshman, so he must have been betting on him.
Yeah. Jacob Ruford, yeah, he's got a good point here. He says embarrassment and pain and suffering. So, you know, that's true too. I mean, I guarantee you that he lost his job because he probably too embarrassed to go back. You know, I mean, to get beat up by a freshman. I mean, honestly, like, you know, and I couldn't imagine it.
But Jacob also says that he'd take an $11 million elbow.
I would too. I'd take
I'm
one.
like, me too, Jacob. You know, knock out a couple teeth. You know, and it's with $11 million, I can get some tooth implants or something.
There we go. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Texas man says he smashed Taylor Swift's signed guitar he bid $4,000 at auction as a joke.
There were more splinters than teardrops left on a Taylor Swift autographed guitar after a Texas man smashed it apart as a joke after he paid thousands for it at an auction, the man said on Tuesday. Gary Estes, 67, says he paid $4,000 for the instrument at the Ellis County Wild Game Dinner in Wachafe, or what? How do you say that?
Where?
Right there. Wachafe, or
yeah, walk shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever this is. Yeah. An annual charity event that benefits agriculture-based education efforts for local youth. When he went to get the guitar, Estes took a hammer to it in a moment captured on video that has gone viral. But he insisted that he has no ill will against Taylor Swift.
Waxahachie.
Yeah, Waxahachie.
Yeah.
There was nothing malicious or anything about it, Estes told NBC News on Tuesday. It was a joke at an auction that we had to raise money for kids, right? And that's all it was. There was nothing mean about it, nothing bad about it. It was just a joke that they were making up on stage, and we just followed through with it as a joke. Auctioneer Craig Meyer, a spokesman for the event, said the guitar smash played well in the room. It was a funny, lighthearted thing. I know it maybe seemed to be malicious, but everybody was laughing. There were people there at the time who joked around that he's mad because he doesn't know how to play the guitar. But after having talked to the man, Meyer said it was an obvious political statement.
It's not going to be too funny when Travis Kelce smashes his head, is it, Bradley?
I'm just saying, well, I guess, you know, if you fight, you can break it. But at the same time, I mean, joke's on him. He paid $4,000 for it. So...
Yeah, I would say he's probably a oil tycoon or something like that.
I'm sure his $4,000 are probably in his couch cushions. But,
yeah, there you go.
But you know, it's kind of, I mean, he bought the thing, but
and it was charity for kids, so I
yeah,
would imagine charity tax. Right.
And you know, at the end of the day, it had to do with the election. You know, it had to do with her supporting Kamala Harris. You can guarantee you that's why it happened. I
tell you, man, this is a different perspective for someone who probably has that $4,000 for couch cushions. If I somehow had a Taylor Swift signed guitar, I would be flipping that. But that's mindset.
Oh, well, come to find out, it wasn't even authentic.
Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't authentically signed.
Yeah, it wasn't even. Yeah, an article came out like the following day that said, according to her reps, it wasn't even an authentic
Guitar.
Yeah,
It wasn't her real guitar.
So he just paid $4,000 to smash some random guitar
Yeah.
signed
that could
by
have been a
Billy
Walmart.
Bob. He's like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, so jokes is really on him
That
now.
really is
So,
awesome, yeah.
so, guys, here we go. Let's see. Donald Trump's GoFundMe for victims of Hurricane Helene raises more than $2 million. That is the good thing. I mean, the GoFundMe. That's what it's about. And just for the foresight to go start a GoFundMe to help these victims. That's something that $2 million could go a long ways to help building back, just a little bit of the infrastructure or, a couple of them homes, so I'm very proud of Donald Trump for that.
Yeah, see, now that's a good thing. I'll joke around about the really bad AI and all that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
you can't deny how good it is to raise $2 million for those people. And hopefully more money to come from that as well.
Oh, absolutely. That's just the beginning.
You're talking really bad AI. I mean, that's just not believable.
That is a true hero right there. Look at that.
That's just not believable, JJ. That is not believable.
That looks like my cat, and that looks like Bradley's cat.
I mean, you could clearly tell the difference. This right here is obviously. I mean, you could tell he's even got the safety harness on. Like, I mean, this is real, and this is fake.
I mean,
like you could tell.
True American hero right there, saving those cats.
But JJ, let's see what else we got here.
Real quick.
Elon Musk hints that X, formerly Twitter, will remove block feature before election.
Oh, wow.
Now, this right here could cause X to be took off the App Store. They're saying before election, because right now, if you hit block, you can't see what other people are. You can't see what other people are wanting. Or you can't see like if somebody posts something about Kamala Harris or about Donald Trump, if you hit the block button, you can't see it. Well, now if they take the block button out, then you'll be able to see everything, and that's kind of what Musk is hinting at he's going to do. So they're just wondering, will he actually do it, and what does this mean for Twitter? Will it be the death of Twitter?
How do you feel about it? I mean, do you think that like them removing the block feature and making you see everything?
No, I think it's ridiculous, because right now there's so much. Listen, I love Twitter. Twitter is an amazing recruiting tool. It's the number one recruiting tool. College coaches, they do more on Twitter than they do any other social media. But whenever you take and look, there's so much nonsense going on there right now. I mean, you get on there, all you see is porn, people getting killed. I mean, like, it's ridiculous right now. So that block button is very important, especially if you're trying to, censor your child's, social media viewing. And, if you take it off there, I just think, it's going to open up a lot of stuff that you may not be wanting to see or may not be wanting your kids to see.
Absolutely. I mean, it's like me with Facebook. Like, I've got everybody's news feeds blocked because, usually when you get on there and you scroll, a lot of people will post their daily Facebook post, and a lot of it's either political or them complaining, and I just don't want to see the negativity.
Why else would you want on Facebook then?
I mean, as a way of communicating, like on Messenger, but as far as like seeing what people post every day.
You can have Messenger without Facebook.
I mean, I'm just mean in general, like, still, I mean, I just developed that habit.
Facebook is the online trailer park.
Yeah.
Everyone, and you know who's fighting with who, and you sit back and eat some popcorn and look at what everyone's talking about. You don't have to get involved.
I like it. Video of fatal shooting a Kentucky judge by accused county sheriff shown in court yesterday.
So, with former Letcher County Sheriff Sean Mickey Steins in court on Tuesday, attendees at a hearing about the killing of District Court Judge Kevin Mullins Her testimony about motive and saw footage of the shooting, which investigators said followed calls to the sheriff's daughter. The video clip was less than a minute long and did not include audio in it. A man identified by police as Steins is shown firing multiple times at the judge behind his desk and then leaving the scene. Supporters of the judge cried in court as the video was shown. I can only imagine. I didn't know there was a video that they actually had.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of, as soon as it happened, there was video. It was in the judge's chambers.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it just tough situation for both parties, you know. And like I said, we don't know what the truth is, you know, right now. So, you know, I'm going to reserve my judgment, but until I hear all the facts in this case.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of wait. I tell you, it's tough to think of like a sheriff throwing away their career in life for, you know, if they didn't at least feel there was a reason. Now, whether or not it was justified or not, we'll leave that up for later. But he had to feel there was some reason, I would think.
Yeah, absolutely did. Now let's see what the final one is. Dock workers may have negotiating advantage in their strike against U.S. ports. Guys, this is huge. You know, I had, you know, one of my guys that does a political show told me the other day, he told me last week that this was going to happen on Wednesday. He said, and watch and see, he said, you know, this could affect, you know, kids could be out of school. It could affect a million things because we're not going to be able to get goods. You know, like they're not going to be able to get goods in here. And, you know, I seen a thing today. It said, funny thing, remember Americans, American-made products don't get stuck in shipping containers. You know, so, you know, at the end of the day, but, you know, this is a tough situation. This right here could change a lot of things in America, and including making sure that pricing goes up on surplus.
Absolutely. And I've got a little bit of information about it. So the 45,000 dock workers who went on strike Tuesday for the first time in decades at 36 U.S. ports from Maine to Texas may wield the upper hand in their standoff with port operators over wages and the use of automation. So the main issue is, you know, wages for the most part. But organized labor enjoys rising public support and has had a string of recent victories in other industries. In addition to the backing of the pro-union administration of President Joe Biden, the dock workers' negotiating stand is likely further strengthened by the nation's supply chain of goods being under pressure in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, which is Helene, which has coincided with the peak shipping and season for holiday goods. So with this situation, so the prices are most likely going to go up for stuff.
Well, and you know that right there, you go back to the conspiracy theories. You know, Bradley, this right here, you know, this strike coming right when we need it most, right when, you know, all this flooding and, you know, people will need to get supplies in here. You know, they definitely got the upper hand right now.
Well, not to mention it's election time.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, there's going to be a lot of political pressure to be put on everyone to get this done, get a deal done. So,
yeah. And Jacob Ruford says, let's just throw another tea party. There you go.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like that's needed, but yeah.
It seemed to work before. The said WVU is wearing their black uniforms. I guess they're called the co-outs. October 12th versus Iowa State. Game at 8 p.m. Can't wait to see them. I've seen them uniforms. They are great. One of the best set of uniforms I've seen. And, you know, that I couldn't be more tickled because, you know, WVU is going to have all the attention. ESPN will be talking about these unis. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, Pigskin Pick'em, and we also are going to release our menu beef jerky. Primetime performers. Come right back and join us here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Bradley Dameron, and Darryl McCoy.
Are now available at Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Little Flower Dental Clinic. Same day crowns. No more temporary impressions and wearing temporary crowns. Same day crowns. Now available at Little Flower Dental Clinic. We also offer cleanings, fillings, extractions, root canals, and bridges. Call for an appointment today at 487-9505. We accept most major insurances, Medicare and Medicaid, and even a sliding fee scale. Little Flower Clinic, your medical home in the mountains.
Central America, head to Sal's Steakhouse. Sizzle your senses with mouthwatering steaks, juicy burgers, savory chicken, and fall-off-the-bone ribs. Sal's Steakhouse, where your taste buds will thank you. Unleash the flavor at Sal's. Taste tradition, taste the difference.
And we are back here on the Startup Morning Show. JJ Pruitt, Bradley Dameron, and Darryl McCoy. This segment is sponsored by Hatfield Funeral Home, JJ.
Absolutely. And this business has been around for 54 years. And if you're in a dark place and you need somebody to help you make things a little bit easier, Hatfield Funeral Chapel is the place to go. Now, Darryl refers to it as Hatfield Funeral Home, but I call it Funeral Chapel.
You're the only person that calls it Funeral Chapel.
I mean, apparently the business calls themselves Funeral Chapel too, because it's in the sign.
Well, I guarantee you, if you ask anybody where a Hatfield Funeral Chapel is, they'll be like, I don't know.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And then if you say, I mean funeral home, they'll say, oh, it's down totally. Bradley, what do we learn that they're great at?
They're great at helping with taking care of the family.
Help putting McCoys in the ground.
Oh, yeah. They do. Hatfield's been putting McCoys in the ground for years, apparently.
Yeah, there you go. So,
That's great.
Guys, Mingy Beef Jerky, primetime performers this week. You're getting to hear them here first. Let's see who we got. Tell us about them, Bradley.
All right. You have Malachi Anderson there, first of all, from Pike County Central. He had 13 tackles, 7 solo, and the tackle for loss and 3 sacks, which is a lot of sacks, and also had 10 carries for 52 yards and a touchdown in Pike Central's 32-14 win over Floyd Central. Then Brady Johnson from Shelby Valley. He was 9 of 16 for 251 yards and 3 touchdowns, and also had 6 carries for 102 yards and 2 touchdowns, so 5 total touchdowns for him. That was all came in a losing effort in a really close game against Elizabethtown, 49-44. And then you have Tug Valley's Preston May, was 12 of 22 for 213 yards, 3 touchdowns, and he had 3 carries, 43 yards. He also had a rushing touchdown in that one. And Tug Valley's 48-6 win over Morgan County. And then you have Letcher Central's Quentin Williams, 15 carries for 154 yards and 4 touchdowns on the ground as Letcher Central beat Breathitt County 41-18.
So hats off to all them guys. Mingy Beef Jerky, prime time performers. Malachi Anderson, Brady Johnson, Preston May, and Quentin Williams. So hats off to them fellas. Great weekend. Hopefully they can carry it over to this coming Friday. All right, guys, we will do our pick'ems first, and then we will do our survivor pick.
I already have my survivor ready. It's loaded in the chamber.
All right, so we'll have them ready, and let's see. Pigskin Pickles. This is where JJ is. This is about the worst game that he's ever played.
You know what? I've been asking you for the last 2 or 3 weeks to put the results down. Like after we,
you win like 3 games every week.
What?
Literally 3 games. Yeah, but you don't want the results.
What proof do you have of that? I need proof. I need evidence.
There's video evidence.
I need to see the footage again. Fake news.
Yeah. Bath County at East Carter.
I'm taking East Carter.
I'm going with East Carter as well.
You going with East Carter? I'm going with East Carter too. Lewis County at Fleming County. JJ, you go first.
Fleming.
I'm going with Fleming. It's 2 winless teams, isn't that right, Darryl?
Yep.
Yeah, so someone's going to get their first win. I'm going with Fleming County.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Fleming too. Not Central at Floyd Central, JJ.
Ooh. Man.
Now, Not Central, remember they was undefeated for a while. Floyd Central still winless. Not Central, I think they only got one loss, right?
Yeah, I
Let's
believe
see.
so.
I got the record right here, 4-1.
I'm going with Knox Central.
Are you going with Bradley?
I'm actually going Floyd Central on this one.
I'm going Floyd Central too.
Uh-oh.
And the
What are the odds?
huh?
What are the odds on them for the points
I don't
spread?
know.
Oh, you know,
Boyd County at Greenup County. JJ.
Greenup County.
All right.
I'm going Greenup as well, but that's a tough one to call.
This is a very tough one, man. I don't know, man. That
I wouldn't be surprised either way. I mean, I'll
a
be
lot
honest.
of it depends on the weather. Boyd County throws a little more, but and you know, listen, the farm now that they got that turf, I don't know if it's such the advantage that it's always been. You know, but Greenup County, you know, coming off that smackdown against Ashland, you know, they're going to want to get back on the winning track. Man, this is a tough one. I'm going to take Boyd. So, who'd you take, Bradley?
I took Greenup.
You took Greenup. All right. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them.
No, I think that's pretty cool. That's a pick, and that's a toss up.
Jenkins at Jackson County.
Jackson County.
Now, you've been to Jenkins, met them fine folks, and you're saying
if they was playing at home, it'd be different.
I've met them too. I'm going with Jackson County, but I could see Jenkins maybe getting a win in this one.
Yeah, I'm going with Jackson County. Corbin at Johnson Central, one of the biggest games in the state this weekend. Who you got?
Ooh.
Now,
Corbin.
remember, Hazard was up on Corbin at half.
Yeah, but didn't Corbin come out and...
They beat him 51-26.
I'm going with Corbin.
I'm going with my heart this week. I'm going with Johnson Central.
There you go. I'm gonna go with my heart too. I think Johnson Central, you know, finds a way at home. Belfry at Lawrence County, JJ.
I'm going with Belfry. I'm not picking against them.
I'm going for Belfry, but I remember things didn't go as well last time they went to Lawrence County. So
A lot tougher, yep.
yeah. So I'm going with Belfry, but I think this game's going to be pretty tight, actually.
I think I don't know. Lawrence County, it depends how healthy they are. You know, is what I want to see. How healthy is KJ Johnson? But I'm gonna go with Belfry too. Covington Holy Cross at Morgan County.
Morgan County.
I will take Morgan County, but I think it's a close one.
Covington Holy Cross, I'll take them. Fairview at Nichols County.
Fairview.
I'm going to take Nichols County.
I'm taking Nichols County too. Eastridge at Paintsville.
Jesus. Can you tell me the records again?
I can. Eastridge is 2-3, and Paintsville is 1-5.
I'm taking Paintsville.
I'm taking Paintsville.
I'm taking Coach Hoskins and the Paintsville Tigers.
There we go.
Craig County, Virginia at Phelps.
I don't know anything about Craig County, Virginia.
Nobody does. So
I'm rolling with the Hornets.
Yeah, I know nothing about Craig County, Virginia, so I'm going with Phelps also.
I'm gonna go with the Hornets too in this one. They can get a winning record if they can get a win here. They're 2-2 right now.
Oh wow!
Now, Godfrey County at Powell County.
Powell County.
I actually think this is a tough one to call.
It is.
I'm going to go with Powell County as well.
Powell County, man, they put up a lot of points. But I'm going to say Coach DeRosset gets him one here. They got too much talent not to turn that over to wins. They've got to eventually turn that into wins, and I think this is the week they do it.
I can see it. I can see it.
Let's see, Martin County at Prestonsburg.
Jesus.
I'm going with the Fighting West Hagers, the Black Cats of Prestonsburg.
Undefeated.
I got to go with the Black Cats.
You going with the Black Cats?
I want to see Martin County do it, but Prestonsburg, they got a lot of momentum right now, and on top of that, they have home field advantage. So yeah, I got to go with Prestonsburg. Unfortunately.
Listen, this game right here, this is a pick'em game. It's 50-50. But I think at the end of the day, I think Wes Hager, may outcoach them. Because here's why I say that. Not because he's, I'm not saying he's a better coach. I'm saying he knows Martin County's strategy. He was the OC at Martin County last year.
Those are schemes inside and out.
That's it. And if you know Wes Hager, he's a guy that will stay up all night long, making sure that he's watching film. He's doing everything he can. I'm gonna say Prestonsburg just because of the I think that Wes Hager will want this game as much as he'll want any game this year. And I think he'll definitely have his team prepared. And one thing that could hurt him is Wes Hager's team is a very disciplined team that don't turn the ball over. Now Martin County has Braden Eastep back there, and he's averaging almost an interception a game. Will he be able to get some turnovers for Martin County? Will Parker Watts be able to exploit? Will he be able to use his athleticism, and Devin Maynard be able to use his physicality? I could definitely see Martin County winning this one, but I'm gonna go with the home team.
And JJ's breaking some hearts. I can already see.
JJ.
I think Parker's going to have a monster game. Though.
It sounds like it.
I really think he is.
It sounds like it.
I feel awful.
Yeah, you should. The Hazard at Raceland. Wow, another big game.
It is a big game. At Raceland, I'm going with Raceland, but man, Hazard tough, man. This will show us where Hazard stands. I believe in the 1A.
I agree.
Class. This game, I'm going with Raceland, but this will show us exactly where Hazard is for the playoffs. I think.
I'm going with Hazard.
I'm going with the Bulldogs too, and I don't feel good about it because Raceland, they play really good at home there, and but the only reason I'm going with them is I just think they got a lot of firepower, and and Raceland don't have Logan Lundy back there anymore, so I'm gonna go with Hazard, but remember Raceland almost beat Pikeville, so it's gonna be a dogfight. Ashland at Rowan County.
We'll go with Rowan County.
Man, that is a bold pick. I'm going with the Tomcats.
I'm going with Ashland big.
What's Rowan County's record, Darryl?
Rowan County is 2-3, which ain't too bad.
Yeah.
Or no, Rowan County's 2-3. Yep. Ashland's 5-1. West Carter at Russell.
West Carter.
This is a little bit tough. I'm going West Carter as well, but not convincing.
Red Devils. I'm going with Russell. I think Russell right now, they are on the third year of a rebuilding phase, and I think they're playing a lot of good teams tough right now. I like what Russell's doing. The Breathitt County at Somerset, another big one.
Somerset.
I'm going with Somerset also.
I'm going Somerset too. Now, before we go over to West Virginia side, maybe the biggest game of the week next to Josh Central and Corbin. Ironton at Pikeville.
Ironton.
I'm going with Ironton.
I'm gonna go with Ironton too. Now Herbert Hoover at Chapmanville. This is where JJ will be.
Yeah, that's where you'll be. Remember that. You'll be with those people.
I'm rolling with Chapmanville.
JJ rolling with the Tigers. He says, "Tiger, Tiger, Tiger."
See, I'm going with Herbert Hoover. I don't have to go over to Chapmanville.
I'm going with Herbert Hoover. I think I think right now Chapmanville may be a little worn down, and I think that Joey Fields will take advantage of that.
Well, I think Chapmanville also is still like maybe a little young in some areas.
Yeah, they are,
and they're finding their way a bit.
But I can tell you what, next year this team's going to be a scary playoff team.
I think so too. I think they're a year away from being a playoff team.
West Side at Liberty Raleigh.
I'm going with West Side.
I tell you what, get ready for about another 5 touchdown performance from Caden Vance. I think West Side rolls in this one.
West Side is the best side, what Tupac says. So I'm going West Side. Scott at Mingo Central.
Mingo Central.
All right, I love you, David, but I'm going with the Skyhawks in this one.
I'm gonna go Skyhawks too. And I think Carson Brinegar. Well, if anybody's got the speed, now this right here, go ahead and write this down. If Mingo Central plays, I mean, they can beat Scott, but Scott is just, a phenomenal team.
It really is. I will say that if there's any team in our area that can, or at least on the West Virginia side, that can match Scott's speed, it's probably Mingo Central.
Yeah, I agree.
Scott has so many weapons. It looks like Easterling's getting more comfortable at quarterback there as well.
Tug Valley at Tulsa. Well, actually, let's save that one for last. Lincoln at Wayne. JJ. Lincoln County at Wayne.
I'm going Wayne too. For record, mention the county part of it because there's a big difference between Lincoln and Lincoln County.
Yeah. Huge. I'm going with Wayne. I think. Pioneers. I think they get back on the winning track. And Tug Valley, Tulsa. David Thompson versus Haiti Ford. Preston May versus Robert Evans. JJ, who you got?
Tug Valley.
No hesitation there, JJ.
No hesitation.
Listen, I am going with Tug Valley too. I think Tug Valley is a top 5 team, at least that season's in single A. If not right there at the top. But I think this game looks a lot closer now than it did at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, 100%. Right.
So, but still going with Tug Valley, but I expect Tulsa to play well.
I'm going to go with Tug Valley. I think Tug Valley wins it.
I think these are 2 playoff teams.
Yep. Now, guys, Survivor pick 'em. Survivor Series pick 'em. Bradley, we'll let you go first. Who's your Survivor pick?
Man, my Survivor pick is East Carter over Bath County.
East Carter.
Block, yes.
East Carter over Bath County.
Ironton over Pikeville.
Wow, that's a tough one, JJ.
No, last week was a tough one too. I picked Prestonsburg.
Well, how about that? I'll tell you. Now we forgot to get Coach Hill to do his celebrity pick. But let's see here. I'm going to go with Bradley. Took mine.
Did I?
That's the one I was going to pick. But I'm going to go. Let's see. So, I'm going to go. I'm going to go Hoover over Chapmanville.
Yeah, it's getting tougher. You know, I'm trying to save some teams.
Yeah, that I'm sitting here looking or actually no, I want to change that. I'm going Ashland over Rowland County. So I'm gonna go with that. That'd be my Survivor Series. Now, guys, it's everybody's. Let's see here if let's see who we can get on our Survivor Series pick. You know, JJ, you asked me one day who the most famous name was in my cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've been sitting there looking. Probably Spike Lee.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and if somebody wants to know how I got Spike Lee in my phone, is when I used to write for the Knicks Fix, which was the #1 New York Knicks website. I had to do an interview with Spike Lee one time, and I was surprised because normally they give you a publicist to go through, but they didn't. It was his personal cell, and done an interview with him. And I tried calling him the other day. I thought for sure the number wouldn't work anymore. It still works. He didn't answer, but it went to his voicemail.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So let's see who we can code call here. As I'm sitting here looking, I don't know if this is. I got so many numbers for him. I don't know if this is the big fella's number anymore or not. Probably calling the wrong one because I got 3 numbers. He used to go through phones left and right. Well, we won't go with that was Austin Dotson. We won't go with him. So let's see. See if we can pick another one here. As I'm sitting here, and I know dead air ain't good, JJ. So let me try to.
JJ, who's the most famous person on your cell phone? I'll put it to you this way: I'm not going to throw mine out there on the air. I do have
Coach Jones is probably the most famous person I got on my phone.
Coach Jones. I'm not going to throw out there mine on air, but I do have a former Major League Baseball pitcher on mine.
Oh wow!
Oh, okay. There you go. So I tell you what, I don't want to go through any more dead air. So well, let's try this one. Well,
Your call has been.
it's going to voicemail. So let's. There, he called him back.
Hey,
Coach Corey Thacker, how you doing?
doing good. What's going on, man?
We're live on the Startup Morning Show, and we are doing our Survivor Series pick, where every week we do our picks. The one lock, one game you guarantee is going to be a win, and we have a celebrity pick every week. And this week you are our celebrity picker.
Well, I appreciate that. It's an honor you guys called me. What game we're talking about?
Well, you get a pick, and I'll tell you the list of games. And so we've already picked. Bradley picked East Carter over Bath County as his lock. JJ picked Ironton over Pikeville, and I picked Ashland over Rowan County. So the games you got left is Lewis County at Fleming County. Not Central at Fleming County, or at Floyd Central, not Central and Floyd Central. Boyd County at Greenup County. Jenkins at Jackson. Corbin at Johnson Central. Belfry at Lawrence County. Covington Holy Cross at Morgan County. Fairview at Nichols County. Eastridge at Paintsville. Craig County, Virginia at Phelps. Magoffin County at Powell County. Martin County at Prestonsburg, Hazard at Raceland, West Carter at Russell, Breathitt County at Somerset, Herbert Hoover I picked that one. So West Side at Liberty Raleigh, Scott at Mingo Central, Tug Valley at Tulsa.
Okay. Well, we'll keep it out of Floyd County.
Okay.
Let's go with the Belfry game.
Okay, Belfry over
Belfry
Lawrence.
at Lawrence County.
Yep.
It's going to be hard to go against the Belfry Pirates. So I'm going to lock in the Belfry over Lawrence County.
There we go. Coach Thacker, I'll holler at you later, and we appreciate you picking them.
I appreciate you guys. Keep doing good things.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach Thacker.
The guys, Corey Thacker, Betsy Lane Lady Bobcats head coach, says Belfry is a lock over Lawrence County. Now, that's not going to bode well because Lawrence County's in his district, so I guarantee you they'll have something to say about that come basketball season, Bradley.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. My cat has fantastic timing.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Lawrence County will not like that too much. Man, that's going to be a tough game, though.
It will. As we're sitting here, guys, real quick, Bradley, this is a point of time. You tell us too high, too low. JJ, you can throw in too if you want. Bath County at East Carter. East Carter is a 40.5-point favorite. Massey ratings. Too high, too low.
That's too high of a rating.
Too high.
Too high. Lewis County at Fleming County. Fleming County is a 34.5-point favorite.
Too high.
Too low.
Too low? I think it's too high.
I tell you, if any team is like right at this point in the season, if a winless team is that big of a favorite over anyone, I feel like it's too high. I mean,
Floyd Central was an 8.5-point favorite over Knott Central.
Too low.
Too low?
Yeah. Can I say just about right?
About right. Okay.
Or over under is what you're asking.
No, you're right. That's it's spot on is what Bradley says. I'll say spot on too. I think I'm not comfortable about that pick. Knott Central does got the firepower to beat them, especially with the Ambergies playing the way they are. But 8.5 at home sounds right.
Sounds about right to me. Yeah.
Greenup County, 9.5-point favorite on the farm over Boyd County.
I think that sounds about right.
I think that's good.
That's me too. The Jackson County, 36.5-point favorite over Jenkins.
Too high.
Think about right.
I'm going to say about right too. Corbin, 15.5 favorite over Johnson Central.
That's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
I think it's too high.
Think too high?
I think that's a little too high. I think it'll be a closer game than that.
I'm gonna say it's about right. The Belfry, 24.5 point favorite over Lawrence County.
Yeah.
I think it's about right.
Right
now.
What do you say, JJ?
Yeah, I'll go with it.
I'm gonna say Belfry ain't really been spanking people. So, and they have played a tough schedule though, but I'm gonna say that's a little low though. I think gonna look about 32. Then Morgan County, Covington Holy Cross is a 22.5 point favorite over Morgan County.
I think that's a little too high.
Yeah, a little high.
High, I'm gonna say that is. I'm gonna say it's about right. Fairview at Nichols County. Nichols County is a 27.5 point favorite.
Too high.
I think that's about right.
I'm gonna say about right too on that one. Paintsville, 35.5 point favorite over Eastridge.
And the Paintsville is 1-4, and Eastridge
1-5.
1-5, and Eastridge is 2-3.
Yeah. JJ, listen. What do you think about that? He remembered that.
Yeah, that's a little too high.
I don't know, man. Without AJ Johnson though, that makes it tough.
Yeah, I'm gonna say too high without AJ.
Because without AJ Johnson, I would think it would almost be too low without.
Yeah.
With him. So.
I'm gonna say it's too high. Craig County at Phelps. Phelps is a 1.5 point favorite.
You know what? I'm going to go with Massey here and say that's about right, but go Hornets.
I'm going with Phelps.
JJ said too high. So Ironton is a 33.5 point favorite at Pikeville.
That sounds about right.
That's too high for me.
A little too high, but I do think Ironton wins.
Yeah. McGolphin is a 10.5 point road favorite at Powell County. That's odd.
I think that's too high.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, too high.
All right. Martin County is an 8.5 point favorite over Prestonsburg.
I mean, I picked the Black Cat, so I think that's too high.
I do too.
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Martin County get it done, but it's just going to be tough to do that this week.
Now, this one right here is a shocker too. Raceland is a 28.5 point favorite over Hazard.
I think that's definitely too high.
Yeah, too high.
Ashland, 41.5 point favorite over Rowan County, which is our biggest spread.
How much?
41.5.
Jesus Christ! Like, how do they come up with these numbers? That's a lot of points. I mean, that's
too high, too low.
That's way too high. So what is that? 7 touchdowns almost?
I'm gonna say it's too low.
I think it's too low.
Yeah.
Yeah. 40. That's a lot of points. Yeah. Yeah, that's too high.
I think you're going to see some fireworks from Ashland this weekend.
I do too. Russell, 29.5 point favorite over West Carter.
Russell's 29.5 point favorite. I think that's way too high.
I do too.
That's way too high.
Yeah. The Somerset, 21.5 point favorite over Breathitt.
Too low.
Sounds about right to me.
I think it's about right. It's
too low.
Yeah. So
Somerset's going to blow them out that bad. You got to see them. JJ, they must have done something to make JJ mad up there at Breathitt.
JJ, did they like give you like some food at full price or something, JJ?
Did you get hot tooed or?
I didn't get hot.
That's the problem. No old lady hot
That's
tub.
exclusive right there.
Yeah. And when we say that, guys, we're talking about an old lady that spit in his hair. If you missed one of the previous episodes.
Yeah.
Listen. I'm from Marbone Creek. I'm a Kermit type guy. Listen, I know good and well that most people around Kermit are not walking around hot chewing in people's hair.
It did happen in Kermit.
But it did happen in Kermit.
Yeah.
And, I can't really. I actually hate that happened to you here, JJ. But can't take it back. It's what happened.
JJ said it happens.
How often?
Yeah.
That's true. How often does it happen, JJ? The Herbert Hoover is a 28.5-point favorite over Chapmanville.
I think that's about right.
No, do.
Probably right. But I want to see Chapmanville put on a good performance.
I'm going to say it's about right. West Side, 10.5-point favorite at Liberty Raleigh. Too low.
Yeah, that's too low.
Too low.
All right. Scott is a 19.5-point favorite at Mingo Central.
I think that's a little too high.
I think it's about right. The Tug Valley, 18.5-point favorite at Tulsa.
Sounds about right.
I think it's about right.
I do too. I think it's about right. Lincoln County at Wayne, Pioneers are a 34.5-point favorite.
I think that's about right.
I do too. I think about right. All right, that rounds them out, guys. That's the Massey ratings. So, guys, want to remind everybody, make sure Friday night you get out to your local football game, support the teams, whether you get to stay there and watch. If you can't watch, stop by, buy some food at the concession, take home with you. They got some great hot dogs at these places. Stop by, get you some dinner, support the team that way. And, guys, tomorrow night, crunch time is at 8 p.m. So make sure you guys tune in to the #1 high school football show in the state of Kentucky and the mountains of West Virginia. Guys, I guess we'll see each other back on Monday, and I'll get to tell you guys how wrong you was on your picks.
Well, we got the tape, so we can run it back.
There we go. So,
hey, I think we all did pretty well with the survivors this week. I'm not going. Usually we leave here thinking JJ. I don't know, but I think JJ got it this time.
There we go.
There we go. So, JJ, we'll see if JJ's still in it. And, guys, we will, on Friday night, we do, right now, the two games we know we'll be doing is Mingo Central Scott, Chapmanville Herbert Hoover. And we're choosing between 3 games in Kentucky. So we're trying to decide which one we're going to be at there. So, guys, we will find out, though. But until Friday night or until tomorrow on crunch time, so long and good day.